Hey, Grubgun here. This video is probably going to cover a bunch of shit that everybody knows, but it's just Gamecube exclusives. I was asked by Conas Del Oro to do, he just got a Gamecube, and he wants to see some games that you can just get for the Cube. And I don't do enough videos about the Gamecube, which is supposedly my primary collecting fucking focus, but so I'm gonna just show a bunch of games that you can only get for the GameCube, and just have a wee chat about, you know, just to say that you should try them if you haven't tried them, because the GameCube, despite having fucking much derision thrown at it, it's a pretty good system, and it's got a lot of games that you can only get for it. So yeah. And like I said, most of this has been covered in other videos, so, and I'm doing it for content, you know what I mean? You gotta put up a video every now and again, and this video doesn't cost me any money. I don't have to go out and buy shit in order to hold shit up, although I did spend a lot of money on these. And you've probably already seen them, and like I said, you probably already know all this shit, but, yeah, so let's get on with it. Now I'm gonna start with the obvious ones. Of course, they're completely obvious. Let's start with the Nintendo's fucking go-to guy, Mario. Super Mario Sunshine. Got this when I got my GameCube way back in the day, and it's a really beautiful game. The sunlight fucking refracting off the water and everything, and the kind of crazy storyline and really cool level design is reason enough to try this game. There's a few camera issues in here. I did fucking bail on this game at one point because of camera issues. I couldn't get past one point because the fucking camera wouldn't turn the right way, but I went back and persisted and finally finished it, and it's definitely worth trying out. Of course it's obvious that you got to get a Mario game for a Nintendo system, so that's a good one. Let's go with, well, of course we'll go with one of my favorite games of all time, Legend of Zelda Wind Waker. Now you see, and they all say only for GameCube in the corner. You'll notice this purple triangle on every one of these games. But yeah, this game, you owe it to yourself to go out and buy it, even if you have to spend $30 fucking on it or more, because this is by far my favorite Zelda game. The anime kind of style that it is, that it has, is just, it's a fucking sight to behold, to be honest. I was sad to finish it. Let's just put it that way. I completed it 100%, did all the side quests. This is a really, really good game, and I mean, I know they're gonna do a HD remake for the Wii U, but as of right this second, that's a GameCube exclusive. So that's a sweet, sweet title. What else? Well, I'll show you the this in a lump sum. The sports titles, the Mario sports titles. You got Strikers, you got tennis, you got baseball. And I know there's golf too. I don't have Toadstool Tour, but all of these games are fucking strong titles. You will have fun playing them. You know what I mean? Each one has its own certain charms, and they're all multiplayer, which is awesome. You can play with friends. Come on, Jesus Christ. Yeah, you can play it with friends, and that's the best kind of fun that you'll have with them. I've played this one the most recently, and it's just a blast. Played some of the baseball one. It's fucking hilarious. Bowser's a dick in each one of these games. He's a dick, and he dicks you around, so isn't that always the way? So yeah, the sports titles, definite have to pick those up. I mean, you owe it to yourself to give it a shot, even if you don't like soccer / football or whatever, or baseball or tennis. it's the characters involved that make the games fun, and the gameplay itself. So definite must-haves. Let's see. Not quite a must-have, but a must give it a shot. Animal Crossing. It's such a cute little game. It's way too involved for me. I was playing it, and it's like, you know, you're running around in a town, you're doing fetch quests, you're collecting stuff to build your house up, and it's a really cute interface. It's the graphics are really cute. The dialogue is kind of funny. So yeah, it's a lovely little game, but you know, kind of involved. You'll probably play it for a few days and then just be like, well, this is just too much. It's gonna tap my whole life. Plus, it runs using the GameCube clock, so if it's winter where you are, it's winter here, and you know what I mean. The seasons change, and time actually passes while you're not playing the game. So if you don't play it for a couple of weeks, your little buddies they miss you. So yeah, the Animal Crossing. A couple of more obvious ones. We'll go to the Metroid ones. Metroid Prime. Oh, fucking hell. Metroid Prime. One of the best games I've ever played. Apparently it's got awesome music, but I had the music off during the when I played it, because it creates a more atmospheric effect. I don't really picture Samus listening to music in her helmet there as she's running around on in the Chozo ruins. So I took the music off, but the music is awesome. I have heard it. So, and of course Prime 2. I didn't like this one as much. It's just as good, but I just didn't like it as much. The gameplay is much the same as in this. They throw in a couple of different elements. Like dark Samus and shit like that, but once you get used to it, I mean, especially if you play it right after this, you're you're on a roll, so to speak, because she rolls around, fucking morph ball. But anyway, yeah, so you gotta try these. I guess they're pretty easy to find, so rock some Metroid there. What else? Pikmin and Pikmin 2. These are really cool games. I'd say they're like real-time strategy, but with Nintendo flair, and it's very tongue-in-cheek, very cute, but the threats are very real. I mean, when your Pikmin die and a little ghost comes out of them and they go, "Ah," and sail up to fucking their heavenly host, you actually feel like you fucked up there a bit. So they're pretty challenging once you get up into the higher levels. But I would recommend picking those up if you can find them. It's another one where Nintendo fucking excelled themselves on design. You know what I mean? They just you never feel like you're fucking contained in a box. You feel like, thank God there's a limited amount of space here, because I would be dead otherwise. Let's see what else. Well, Luigi's Mansion. Of course, that was, I think, a launch title with the GameCube. It's a great little game. It's adorable as hell. You could probably whip through this bastard in fucking one day like I did. But it's totally worth it. It uses the GameCube controller fucking to its max. It's and it gives Luigi a chance to fucking do something, which, you know, what does he ever get to do except stand there and act like a dick? You know what I mean? This time he gets to act like a dick, and in his own game. So yeah, it's a cute little game, and the fucking graphics are awesome. And the graphics are awesome in all of these games. They push the GameCube to its fucking optimal level. there are moments where you're just looking at that, looking at some of these games, going, "Fuck, that's beautiful." You know, I wish I could take a screen cap of that, because especially Mario Sunshine. I mean, you look at that and the fucking refraction off the water and shit like that of the sun. It's just absolutely amazing. What else can I show here? Oh, here I'll show Star Wars Rebel Strike Rogue Squadron 3. You like your Star Wars games? Well, this is fucking fun. Once again, it suffers from a little bit from controller issues and control issues and camera issues, but once you get past that, you're basically playing fucking Star Wars. I was playing this 2-player with my girlfriend, and it's a fucking blast. So yeah, it's worth checking out if you can find it. Awesome Star Wars game, and I'm not really a big fan of Star Wars either. So, but it's nice to fly a X-wing and a snow speeder and take down an AT-AT by hooking the wire on and everything. That's where the camera issues come in, controller issues come in, because yeah. But anyway, that's a pretty good game. Let's see what else we got here. Lost Kingdoms 1 and 2. See if I can try to focus on something here. Yeah, Lost Kingdoms 1 and 2. This is like a card-based RPG-ish kind of a game. And by card-based, I mean you attack the bad guys using cards that you collect along the way, and you make a deck and you go out and you fight using your cards, and it's very linear in a way, but they're still really nice games, pretty games, interesting storyline. They're different, you know. They're different than usual games that you find, and they're just really good games. As I said, this is the point of the video. These are good games that for the GameCube that you should try out. Eternal Darkness, the game that I bought that started my new collection. It's a mature rated game, so there's pretty crazy shit going on in here. There's like, you can basically go crazy while playing it in game, and there's a few weird things that happen in there that make you think something else is happening when other things are happening. So this one, you know, everyone talks about it, and for good reason. There's a few issues with the controller, but other than that, you just got to get used to that shit. I mean, the GameCube controller isn't the fucking best thing in the world, but they make use of it well. And yeah, so Eternal Darkness, Sanity's Requiem, a definite must-have, must-play kind of a game. Yeah, there you go. What else we got here? How about some Fire Emblem? This is one of those games where it's like a tactics kind of a game. You play on squares. You have moves. Your men move in certain directions on a square grid. Let's see if I can focus on that. On a square grid. Yeah, that's not going to work, is it? Oh, yeah, there we go. But it's a really good storyline, and there's lots of Fire Emblem games. There's one for the Wii, and there's a DS game, and there's... Yeah, anyway. Fire Emblem, it's really good. It takes you a long time to play it, and it's actually kind of fucking difficult, too. So if you think you're going to go into this and fucking breeze through it, you definitely are not. So, pretty good game. I recommend that one as well. Sorry. Ikaruga, a shmup. I think this was released on the Dreamcast in Japan, so technically only for the GameCube is kind of, well, but anyway. Ikaruga. It's a shoot 'em up, and it's fucking mental. You switch colors and absorb these colored fucking balls that fly down from your enemies, and you switch from, I think it's black to white, and these balls fly down, and you can absorb whatever color you've made your ship from black to white. I have no idea. Like, I played this for a long time. I have no idea how my fucking hands were, and my thumb were actually fucking playing this game. I would get through a level. Come on. I would get through a level, and I would think, how the fuck did I do that? I have no idea how I controlled the ship and fucking switched back and forth and didn't die. I do not know. I have never finished it, but it's one of those games where you kind of have to... you have to steel yourself before taking it off the shelf and play it, because you're like, okay, well, I'm in for a fucking shitstorm here, and I guess I'm ready for it. And I think you can switch the camera view from straight up and down to side as well. So if you want to tilt your TV up to vertical, you can play it that way. So, you know, fly at her. I'll show you another couple here. Tales of Symphonia. This is really fun. It's kind of cutesy. It's basically an RPG. You know, you run through fucking areas and clear it and talk to people and pick shit up and fetch quests and all that nonsense. Grinding, which I fucking hate doing now. I'm too old to fucking grind, it seems. But very cutesy. There's like little animated segments within the game that you can watch, and the dialogue is kind of amusing. I think this is a 2-discer. Yeah, it's 2 discs. But really good game. Otherwise, it's cool that there are no random. There's no random battles like in Final Fantasy. You actually go and you can see the bad guys on the field and then go run at them and fucking attack them if you feel like it. You know, if you want to grind. And the battle system, once you get into battle, it's like a real-time battle. You're not just huddled around, each person taking turns. You actually go and physically attack your bad guys, so it's a lot of fun. Skies of Arcadia Legends, I know that was on the Dreamcast, but this is Legends, so it's different. To be honest, I haven't played this yet, but from what I've seen, I've watched a few in research to do this video. Yeah, I did research. Fucking hell, can't believe I did research. It looks pretty cool. Yeah, anyway, you can pick up people for your party, and it's one of those fucking Japanese animation kind of games. But all in all, it looks awesome. It's fucking expensive, so if you really want to try it, look it up on the YouTube and watch some gameplay or whatever and decide for yourself. So I haven't played it because I got too many games to play. And another couple of games here. Baten Kaitos and Baten Kaitos Origins. Yeah. RPGs, fucking... They're fucking beautiful when you play them. I mean, they just look awesome and very absorbing. I'm gonna get my hand out of the way so you can see that. Very absorbing storylines. Lovely games. They're really fun to play. You won't be sorry when you play these. I don't know how hard they are to get. I think I got mine in Gamecube locked or something. And you know, you can't mention the Gamecube without this is my wood grain one. It's kind of beat up, but I put wood grain Mac tack on it to make it look like it was made of wood. I did that with a lot of my consoles back in the day because I wanted everything to have wood grain on it. I thought, you know, why let the 70s die if the Atari 2600 can have fucking wood grain on it, so can your Gamecube. But of course, another thing it's a must-have is the Game Boy, the GBA player that hooks onto the bottom of your cube. It allows you, everyone knows this already, but you can take your fucking GBA cartridge. This is Onimusha Tactics. And plug it into the bastard, and play it on your TV. So you're not sitting there holding on to a little fucking Game Boy. You're playing it on the big screen. So another must-have, you've got to get that. Now remember, if you find one of these things, it comes with a boot disc. You need the disc in order to fucking use it. If you find one without the disc, basically all you have is a little plinth that screws into the bottom of your Gamecube that does fuck all. But it's a definite necessity for anybody with the Gamecube, and it expands the Gamecube to do things that you never thought it could do. So yeah, that's a list. I mean, there's some other ones. Paper Mario 10,000 Year Door. I don't have that yet. I'm in the process of acquiring it. That's a definite. You have to get that game. It's basically an RPG style Mario game, and the fucking writing in it is it's so funny. It doesn't take itself seriously. You know what I mean? It's just a lovely little game. One of my favorites for the GameCube. And I don't know if I mentioned Double Dash. Super Mario Kart Double Dash usually gets bashed as being a shitty Mario Kart game. It's one of my favorites. Fucking, you have two people in the car and you can switch characters who's driving. Totally unique in the Mario Kart series. You got to pick that up too. I don't have it for some reason. And I'll throw Smash Brothers Melee in there, but that's a fun game, but it's not my thing. You know what I mean? I've played the shit out of it, but it's just not my kind of a game. But you got to try it anyway, because the amount of Nintendo characters that they throw in there, it's fucking brilliant. You'll be grinning from ear to ear just with the amount of gameplay that's in that. So yeah. GameCube exclusives. I don't talk about the GameCube enough. Was my main choice of console back in the... Well, and it's my main choice of collecting, even though I collect for everything else. This is when I find games for the Cube, I'm always fucking happy. So, yeah, that was it for that. Thanks to Cones Del Oro for giving me the fucking reason to make a video that I didn't have to spend money on. And that's always good. And like I said, 90% of the shit I said, you fucking know already. So hopefully you can take that 10% that you don't know and utilize it somehow. That's what I would do. Okay, that's it for me. Thanks for watching. I don't know why I say stuff like that. Thanks for watching, though. I do appreciate it. Yeah. I guess I'll see you later. Grubgun signing out.